Hello, lovely Librans. How are you this month? Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com here to do your May horoscope. Now, I'm a Libran myself, so it's always interesting for me doing Libran horoscopes because so much of it, I find astrology just fascinating, endlessly fascinating, and it just is so spot on for me. It's unbelievable. So the 4th of the month, lovely Librans, and it brings a new moon into our 8th house. Okay, so the 8th house is a bit of a strange one. It's ruled by Scorpio, so sometimes secrets can come out. It's also being Scorpio, of course, sex is very important, and having a new moon there suggests new beginnings. Okay, so you could meet somebody. It's not the same. Meeting somebody doesn't necessarily mean, though, that it's going to go on to become a committed relationship or anything like that. It's all about the sex. So probably shared too much information with you then. Also, though, the 8th house is about shared resources, and intimacy. So shared resources, it could be things like you get a tax check back that you didn't expect, or it could be things like looking for a loan or getting a loan. Superannuation, we call it in Australia, or I believe in the US it's called 401k. These are the sorts of things that relate to the 8th house. Okay, so the first half of the month, Venus is in your 7th house of committed relationships. So if you've got the 8th house happening and the 7th house happening, well, that's just a marriage made in heaven as far as relationships go, because it's got that really sort of magnetic sexual appeal, but also a smooth flowing energy in your relationships. I don't know if you can hear that kookaburra outside the window. He is just having a ball actually out there. So noisy. We've got 3 kookaburra families here. So anyway, yes, so new relationships or new business could start, a new business partner that you just seem to kind of click with, somebody you can really, get the job done, and you're both on the same page. So that's great. The 7th of the month sees Mercury coming to the 8th house, and the 16th of the month also sees Venus coming to the 8th house. So that all of that together are like they're having a party in the 8th house. So there could be a lot going on about shared resources or intimacy, and with that thing with the 7th as well, really does it's a great omen if you're looking to meet somebody or looking to get a relationship onto a deeper level. Okay, now also in the first half of the month you have Mars in your 9th house. The 9th house is all about the higher mind, okay, the metaphysical, your spiritual beliefs, also foreign travel and foreign connections. There's a lot of wisdom there, and it's about broadening your horizons, and so you may feel the call of exotic new lands. Now, with all of that other energy in the 7th and the 8th house, you could actually meet somebody while you're overseas. So if you are thinking about going overseas in May, it looks like it's very well aspected for meeting all sorts of people, but particularly a potential lover. Okay. Now, the other thing that's happening that you need to take into consideration is that on the 18th, you've got the full moon in your 2nd house. 2nd house is about your finances and what you value, your value systems. So it might not necessarily be money. It could be your ideals. So, for example, you might have ideals around working hard or integrity, telling the truth, that sort of thing. So the full moon brings change. So you might change your ideals or realise that you had an ideal that maybe wasn't exactly right for you, and now you have to broaden that. So the full moon will bring up things from our subconscious to deal with. And everybody knows that on the full moon, stuff happens. So on the network, we are very busy on the full moon and the day after the full moon. We get a lot of calls because there's so much happening in the world with people's feelings around a full moon. And if you speak to anyone who's a first responder, like a paramedic or in the police or somebody in the helping professions, they'll often say that the full moon is the time that people can really go off the deep end and lose it. So I'm not suggesting that's going to happen to us, fellow Librans, at least I hope not. But it will bring up things in our subconscious that we need to deal with, and that's fine, because we can transform them as we're dealing with it and feeling the feelings. We can transform them and release them, okay? So we don't have to go out and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. We can just do it in ourselves. Alrighty, the 16th sees March go into your 10th house of career and vocation, reputation, social status. Now, with Mars there, we might very much be feeling like doing live streams, publishing, blogging, doing public speaking, really getting our message out into the world then. Mars gives you a lot of motivation and a lot of inspiration, and you're just filled with energy to take action. Mars is a very active planet, okay? So it's not about sitting around thinking about, am I going to do this, that, or the other? Under the energy of Mars, we're just going to go and do it. Don't overthink things, dear Librans, because we're air signs, so we love to sort of mentally think about it and plan it before we, you know, we're not impulsive. We kind of plan it and think about it and then overthink it and then think it again and make sure we got it right, because we don't want to make a mistake. So forget all that. 80% is good enough, okay? So that's my 80% rule. When you get something to an 80% level, that's when you go for it, and you can tweak it later, okay? If you make a mistake, that's fine. Otherwise, we have a tendency, we will sit back and procrastinate all day long and miss the boat because we thought we had to do it exactly perfect, and that's rubbish, okay? Just get out there and do it. Alrighty, 22nd sees the Sun and Mercury also in the 9th house. So the Sun brings awareness, happiness, a sense of achievement. Mercury is all about communications. It's going into the 9th house of higher learning and sharing and publishing and getting the message out there. So public speaking, writing a blog, you know, really organising yourself and making like a structure. Okay, on such and such date I'm going to do this, and you write in your diary, on such and such day I'm going to do that, and you work out a schedule for yourself of when you're going to do stuff. And so not only learning about it, but then we can be teaching other people, you know, how to do different things, and particularly in the metaphysical area. Alrighty, Saturn and Pluto continue in the 4th house of home and family. So could be a few challenges there. Saturn, these planets will be there for a while yet, and sometimes it brings the necessity to look after somebody. So you might have sickness in the family, somebody's getting old and you have to pay extra attention. You know, there's just more to do to fix things. And I know I've got a dog that's just had surgery. He's got to go and have surgery again on Wednesday. I had to take a chicken to the vet the other day. Anyway, we think we've saved the chicken's life, but she's still not right. So she might have to go back to the vet too. So these are all the sorts of things. And they're unexpected. You know, they're things that you want to get up and do something, and then you've got these obstacles that are kind of holding you back. So that, you know, you can't do what you want to do. Jupiter continues in the 3rd house of communications, siblings and short trips, all right? So you might be, again, feeling like getting your message out into the world. There's a lot of energy here for you to really make a standpoint. And if you've been thinking about this for a while, please, 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 with all of this activity, the stars are really aligned to help you. Okay, so let's have a look at our favourite, or my favourite, I hope it becomes your favourite too. These are my favourite. Psychological cards, and see what comes out for both of us. All right, the first one I've got. Well, I've got two. I've picked because I've got a Band-Aid on the finger. I can't feel very well. So I've actually picked two cards, love and home. And now we're going to look at the inner cards to see what goes with those. So I'm going to pick two cards for love, okay, and home. All right, and see what comes out. And all righty, here we go. This is very interesting. Okay, so this is for love, and you can see it looks like somebody down on his luck. All right, I know for myself exactly who this person is. I'll tell you. I don't mind sharing to the world what's happened. This is my father, and you can have a relationship with someone, but they've always got their hand out and they want something. My father's not here anymore. He's passed now. But this card, I've had this deck for 35 years plus, probably longer. And this is the card, and there's 78 cards or something, I don't know, a lot. And this is the card that relates to my father. So this is the sort of stuff I'm going to be dealing with, and you could be dealing with things about authority figures where they have let you down, disappointment, and it's affected your whole life. You know, when you don't have a good relationship with your father, it really does make an indelible scar on your psyche. So I don't mind telling you that. And the other one, remember, two jumped out. Remember, I was talking about the home and family, the home, and that there might be renovations or additions to the home, or an increase in somehow in the family. There you go. Okay, so there is a father figure, perhaps, dear Librans, that can help you. Your own father may have let you down somehow, but there is somebody else that can help you, and I know who that is. That's my husband. So we all play these roles for each other sometimes. It's not just clear cut that your husband is your husband and that's it, or your lover is your lover and that's it. We all play different sorts of aspects for each other at different times. So, you know, some people might think, you know, that, for example, if you're a Libran, that you're in love with love all the time. Well, that is a Libran tendency, but it doesn't mean like that you're like that all of the time. We are so much more than that. Okay, so lovely Librans, I would love to wish you now a very happy month in May. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that this live stream's been helpful to you in some way, and it smooths out the bumps and the lumps a little bit. Okay, I'll catch you again next month for your horoscopes. In the meantime, enjoy life, and bye for now.